friends, welcome back to my channel. If you have guessed by the title, I will be giving you a recommendation if you want to give someone a book, or if you might want to receive any books that you don't know about. I will give you some recommendation. I will start with unfinished book series, or book series that are finished but I haven't finished them, so I can give you the recommendation for one or two books in a series but not all of it. You'll see. So the first one is this series, Apprentice to the Villain. This is the first book. This is the second one, and this is the third one, but I haven't read it, so I can't give you any recommendation about this one, but I will still talk about the first two books. This one I just wanted to show you. In this series, we follow Evie and the villain. Evie lost her job and she is looking for a new one to support her family. The villain stumbles upon her, and after he or she saved him, I don't remember, but someone saved someone. He offers her a job and now she is the assistant to the villain. Evie is really funny, bubbly, she is always happy, she helps people, but the villain is not like that, as you guessed it by his name. He's kind of broody and moody and he doesn't really like people. He doesn't really have many friends. This is about their love story, but it is really slow. So it's not a romantasy, I would say it's more of a fantasy with romance aspect, because it really isn't about their relationship but more about all the challenges that the villain has to overcome, since he's the villain and he's being chased by the king. This really is really for entertainment and just to have a good time. So if you're looking for this type of story, I would recommend these two. I'm sure the third one is with the same vibe, so the three books would be a recommendation. My second recommendation is The Night Ends with Fire. This is the second book. It's a duology, so this is a finished series. However, I haven't read this book yet. It's on my TBR for November. I have nothing to say about this one, but this one was so good, so I'm sure this one will also be good. This first book is kind of a retelling of Mulan, if you have seen the Disney movie. We follow Maylin's. She, like Mulan, has to go to war in her father's place, and she has to go while being a boy. So nobody knows that she's a girl, it is forbidden. It's really mostly the same thing as Mulan, but the bad guy in Mulan is not really the same one in this story, because at one point she got herself kidnapped, kind of, and we meet him and we have his side of the story. So there's something about that, and there is kind of a love story, I would say. If you've seen Mulan and you liked it, you will like this one too. Now, again, in the fantasy world, I have these two books. This is supposed to be a 4-book series, if I'm not mistaken. I have just read these two because I don't think the third one or fourth one are out. But all I have to say is, this reminds me of Caraval, if you have read this series. But this one is more dark. Caraval is more YA, and this one is adult. There's a lot of blood and more sexual content in these stories. So yeah, really not the vibe, but it's still the same theme, I would say. In this one there's a competition and there's only one winner. We follow Ophelia. Her mother just died. She was a necromancer and now it is passed on Ophelia since she's the older sister. In this one we follow Genevieve, and in this one there's also Deadly Trial, but it's more of a hunt than a game, but the last one to win is the last one to be alive. So still really deadly. They both have smut in them, but what's really interesting is the paranormal aspects to them. There's, like I said, a necromancer with Ophelia. There are, I think, well, there are devils, demons, wraiths, vampires, shapeshifter, familiars, ghosts, seers, witches, specters, phantoms, poltergeists, apparitions, and ghouls. So you get the vibe. If you are interested by these, or you know someone who would be interested, I would suggest this series. And now for the same thing but YA, we have Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. So this is a trilogy, but there's a novella, Spectacular. It came out last year. I wouldn't say that you have to buy this one, and it comes really last, but it was fun. So if you really enjoy this world, I would recommend this novella. But if it's not really something that you want, you can stick to these 3 books. The first book is Caraval. In this book we follow Scarlet. Her and her sister were writing letters to the master of the game, Caraval. His name is Legend. They wanted to see the game, and he never goes to the same town twice, if I'm not mistaken, so they wanted him to come to them. But all the time that they were writing a letter, he never came. But if I remember correctly, the year that they didn't write a letter, he came in their town or near. So something happened and Scarlet had to go. In this book, she wants to win the game because she thinks, or she is told, that she will find her sister if she wins. I'm not really sure. In this second book, we follow the sister, Donatella, and I think it's the same thing. She has to play Caraval, and she has to win because she made a pact, I think, with someone, and the only way that she can keep her end of the bargain is if she wins. So it's kind of the same thing but not, and they are both really entertaining. And in this third one, I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's not a Caraval theme. There's still magic in this, and it is a really good book to finish this series. If you were interested in what I said, I would suggest this series, and if you know someone who would be interested, you should buy that for them this Christmas. From the same author, I also have this trilogy that you might have heard about if you knew about Caraval. We have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. This is The Ballad of Never After and A Curse for True Love. People say that you don't have to read Caraval before reading this one. If you want to read both series, I would highly suggest to read Caraval before, because there's a character in Caraval that is the main character in Once Upon a Broken Heart, so you will get spoiled a lot of things in Caraval if you read Once Upon a Broken Heart before. In this series we follow Evangeline and Jax. Evangeline was supposed to get married, but then she kind of got cursed and her stepsister got married with the boy that she wanted, and she kind of made a deal with the Prince of Hearts, and now she has 3 kids to give. This is a lot of drama in book 1. We follow kind of the same thing in book 2, but all the kisses were done in book 1. But this book is more about a curse, so yeah, a long book for a curse, but if I say too much I will spoil it, and it is really good. And this one I also can't say too much because the ending of the second book is so good that they had to make a third book, and if I see what this one is about, I think it will spoil everything, but just trust me, it is good. A lot of people preferred this series to Caraval. I think I liked it better, but they were both really, really good. I have Caraval in my heart forever, and this one too. Really, Jax is really great. So, if you were interested in what I said, this series would be good for you. For my next recommendation, I have The Shepherd's King duology. The first one is One Dark Window and the second one is Two Twisted Crowns. You can probably see with the cover, but the vibe of these books is really dark, but not the kind of dark with like a lot of murders and everything, but the kind of dark, like gothic dark. It's really gloomy and you can really feel it because Rachel Gillig is a really good writer. This series is about Elspeth. She has a nightmare in her head because when she was young she was plagued, and people who were plagued were supposed to be killed, but her family hid her, I think at her uncle's house. But the side effect that she had of this plague is that she had a nightmare in her head. So she has a voice that speaks to her, and it is the nightmare. In this, the king wants to collect all the Providence card. There's 12 different cards, but there's not the same amount of cards for each one. The first card, there's only one of it. The second one, there's two. Third one, there's three. So you probably guessed it, but at 12, there's 12 cards. Now the king wants one of each. I don't remember why, but I think there's like a prophecy or whatever if you have all the cards. So he's trying to chase that, and the king has not an army but a crew of people looking into that, and Elspeth stumbled into the captain of this gang. So now she doesn't want him to know that she has something in her head and that she was plagued, because it is treason and she and her family could be killed. So she is trying to be with them and to help them try and find the Providence card that are missing for the king. And there's a little love story in this book, same thing for this one, but I wouldn't say that it's a romantasy, because the romance is not the more important thing in this story, and the story would still be good if there wasn't any love in it. In this one we still follow Elspeth and the captain, but the love story is more about two other people, and I really enjoyed this one. I even enjoyed this book more than this one, but this series is one of my favorites. I haven't read this one this year, but every time I have to recommend any books, they are in my recommendation. I really love them, and I even have a tattoo on my arm of the Nightmare Providence card. So yeah, it's really in my heart. If you have any books to buy in this recommendation video, I would highly suggest these two. If you have never heard of them or read them, please read this. My camera is about to die, so I will do the next books kind of fast. Again, one of my favorite series, but this one I read this year, is this one. This one is more YA. This is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. You have probably heard of this if you have seen the series on Netflix, Shadow and Bones. I would say that this one is kind of included in the series, but I liked the books better. This one is not in the Netflix series, so it's totally new information. In both of these books there's a heist, and there's a crew of 6 people, because 6 of crows. They all have a different thing to bring to the crew, and in this world there's magic and people with and without magic, but they are not called like magician. The people with magic are Grisha, and there's a lot of different type of Grisha. The more bad one, I would say, is the one who can control shadows, and the best one is the one who can control a light. There are the Grishas that can control water, fire, air, metal, hearts, but I think it's blood. People that can like modify features and clothes, and a lot of other types of Grisha. But in this world, the people in this crew are mostly not Grisha, and they are in the slums, so they are kind of considered as criminals. Kaz Breaker is like the main one. He's the head of the crew, and honestly he's so intelligent. Every time I was reading about the crew doing something and I thought they were caught, because Kaz thought of something. If you are interested in heist and magic and a lot of ups and downs, this is the series for you. I will change a little bit of genre and I will go in romance. I don't have a lot of it. I have this series. The third one is supposed to come out soon, I think. This is the first one, Collide, and the second one, Spiral. They are both sports romance, and we follow the same hockey team. In this one, the main girl is Summer and the main boy is Aiden. Summer has to do a school project and Aiden was kind of benched, so he has to help her. And there's a whole story, but it's a romance, so they fall in love. Super good, would recommend. In this one, the main boy is Elias and the girl is Sage. She is a ballet dancer and he is a hockey player. Elias has a lot of traction on the internet, if I can say that, and Sage is not really a high ballerina, and Sage wants to dance in one of the biggest dance that there is for ballet, but she is not really known on the internet or by people, so they form a fake relationship so she can have more popularity on the internet and be seen by the big ballet schools and like ballet companies. And since Elias has a girlfriend, the internet will stop being mean to him or saying fake stories. So again, sports romance, and I really enjoyed this one. Again, this romance, one of my favorite books of this year, The 7 Year Sleep. We follow Clementine. Her aunt died and she gave her her apartment. When she moves into the apartment, everything is fine, but one day she comes home and it's 7 years in the past. So the apartment moves in time 7 years back, but she never knows when. So one time she can open the door and it's the like current time, and the next day she can open the door and it's 7 years back. When it's 7 years back, there's a man in the apartment. He's the son of one of her aunt's friend, I think. I don't really remember his name, but it's not important. So now you can probably see where this is going, because she kind of fell in love with the boy from 7 years back, but she actually lives 7 years in the future from him. So if she doesn't know him in the present, what does this say? Super interesting. So if you're interested in this, I would suggest this one. Now I will move to a Finnish duology. This is Just at Air and this is Just at Crown. I just finished this book and it is really good. This series is about Sylvia and a world where magic is now illegal because there's been a war and the people that have magic were supposed to be all killed. But as you've guessed it, the main female character has magic, but she has cuffs on her wrist and they are blocking her magic, so she has it but can't use it. There's also the male main character. He is the nasal heir and he can sense magic, so he's really dangerous for Sylvia because if he can sense magic in her, even if she can't use that, she could be killed, you know. One day they both come in contact and he chose her to be his champion for the competition between one person from each place, and it's only the last one to be alive that wins. I wouldn't say it is a romantasy, but there's romance aspect, but they are not really there. It's not the main thing for these books. It is really action and magic focused, if I can say. This one is really huge compared to the first one, but I think it took me the same amount of days to read this one as this one because it was so good. I was always turning a page and turning a page. Something happened at the end of book one and this one picks right where this one left. I don't want to say too much because it will spoil book one, but it is still kind of an enemies to lovers situation. We follow the same people as in book one. There were a lot of questions in book one that are answered in book two. All I can say is that I loved the story. I did not like the end. I wanted more of that end. It kind of pissed me off, but I still really enjoyed this one and it's still a series that I would recommend. Now for my last recommendations, it will be mystery thriller. The first one is That's Not My Name. We follow two point of view. There's one where we follow a girl that, and there's another one where we follow a boy whose girlfriend has been kidnapped. And at one point the two stories converge and it's just a question of who is who, what happened, and honestly I did not see the end coming. It's a sad one and it's a good one, so if you like thrillers and mystery, this one is good for you. Another one is not quite dead yet. I talked about this one on my October reading wrap-up. This is about Jet. She has 7 days to live and she wants to try and find who killed her because someone tried to kill her but it didn't work. However, she will still die because it made her, I don't know how to say that, but now she has an aneurysm in her head because of what happened, and this is the thing that will kill her in the end. And Jet was the kind of people to say, oh, I will do that tomorrow, oh, I will do that tomorrow, the next day, blah blah. So now she can't really put everything to the next day and she really want to do something before she dies, and that thing is to find her killer. So we follow Jet along the way each day and she is with her friend Billy and they are both a really good and cute duo to try and find her killer. So all I have to say about this one, really really good and really sad again. Next and final book for this recommendation is The Only One Left. In this book we follow Kit and she is a home health helper and she has to go to a house, but this house is popular for not a good reason. There has been a murder, a big one, at this house and the person that she has to look after is the only person left in this family. Everybody thinks that person killed her whole family and this person cannot walk, talk, anything. She is kind of bedridden, so if she has to move, she's in a wheelchair, and she has to take care of this person. The thing is, a lot of things happen in the house that are suspicious. I don't know what I can say, I don't remember what's a spoiler or not, but the whole story is about finding the truth and did this woman really kill her whole family, or did something else happen? And if something else happened, what is it? Also, Kid has a dark past, so we also see a little bit of that and what happened to her. So if this interests you, I would put that in my Christmas gift suggestion list. That is it, and that is all. You have seen all the recommendations that I have to give to you for your Christmas wish list, or for someone else's Christmas wish list, whatever. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and it will be my pleasure to answer you. If you have anything else to say, you can also comment down below, and I will gladly answer. With that, I will see you in the next one, and goodbye.